Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Outs here. It's Friday morning, and it's time for the Friday Freakout. Wah! Excuse me. Gross. This week has been an eventful week for Joel Embiid. He scored 50 last night, guys, and the Sixers won their first game of the first round against the New York Knicks. Yeah, they won the first game in front of the Wells Fargo crowd. Joel playing a little dirty last night, if you ask me. Might have hurt Mitchell Robinson for the rest of the series with a dirty play, and also a dirty play on Isaiah Hartenstein. Also, Hartenstein saying that the brace on Joel's leg sharp and dangerous. Yeah, very dangerous player. This happened right at the beginning of the game last night, where he hit people and caused problems, but he was able to play the whole game still, get 50, and help Philadelphia win. So today, I want to talk about Frederic Weis. Frederic is a former French national team player for the team of France in Olympic competition. He is, of course, the victim of the dunk of death. And this makes it Raptors related. Some ways they're like, Lex, why are you putting this French guy on our channel on the picture? Well, he is Raptors related because of Vince. Vince dunked on him. 7'2" Frederic Weis was the victim of the Vince Carter dunk of death. Yes, that one where he went up over his shoulders and basically rubbed his, all over his head. Yeah, you know the dunk I'm talking about. It's very famous. And this is what Frederic Weis is most known for, is this dunk of death. Well, Frederic is very opinionated about Joel Embiid's decision to play for Team USA this summer at the Olympics in Paris, France. Yeah, he's mad at him, honestly. I want to take some quotes from Frederic about this situation because it's very, very interesting. He is a silver medalist in 2000. So France won the silver, and he has a silver medal in basketball. So he considers Embiid a great player as much as he is a dirty player. I hate him for the things that he did. I think he doesn't have any respect for France, and also for all the people who are asking for a French passport and don't get it. This is true. There's a lot of people trying to migrate right now because places where they live aren't that great because of war, famine, genocide. There's all kinds of crazy, stupid shit going on in this world. So there's a lot of people trying to go to new places, and to get to immigrate to places like U.S., Canada, UK, France is not easy in a lot of ways for people from other parts of the country. So Joel, he gets a red carpet rolled out for him, a red, white, and blue carpet of the France flag just rolled out for him. It's like, yes, we want you to become French, Joel, because, you can be, on our team for our national team. And he's like, okay, yeah, he does that. This is a while ago. Well, he's gotten to the point where he's now American citizen, and now he wants to play for Team USA this year. I think it's ridiculous, and I think that Weiss is right in some ways. I like that he says he's a good player, but he's also as much a dirty player. I think that's the truth, honestly, about Joel. I think that's actually the truth, that he is just as dirty as he is good in some ways. I hate his excuses for why he was playing like that last night. He said, I was in a game with Jonathan Kuminga, and he hurt me bad, and I'm always on the receiving end of being hurt in these physical altercations on court, so I have to lash out and protect myself. That's basically what Joel's defense is for how he plays. That's ridiculous, man. You're the biggest person on the court every single time you take it. This is ridiculous, man. Why do you have to protect yourself from smaller people like that where you're actually hurting other people? It's so self-centered and so egotistical that he thinks this way, as far as I have to hit Mitchell Robinson before he hits me. It's so messed up. It's like really messed up. Let me continue on with my derision of Joel Embiid with Frederic Weiss's words. He's saying, All these people are trying to get French passports and they don't get it. And under the pretext that he is a great athlete, he got it. I find it scandalous. I find it embarrassing. I don't care about his excuses because they are his words, and his words mean nothing. Well, this is kind of what somebody says when they've been jilted. Like you were going to go play for France. I mean, in some ways, I still think that you should be playing with Pascal, Christian Koloko, and some of the nice young Cameroonian talent that's coming up in the world today and playing for that country. Because honestly, you could field a really good team. But yeah, France is a juggernaut. France has Victor. In some ways, I would say this to Frederic Weis for myself. He should play for Cameroon because France they don't really need him, and the US definitely doesn't need him. And it's ridiculous. In some ways, his Olympic choices just show, and a lot of people are echoing this in chat rooms and chat places on social media, that he's taking the soft route. He's taking the easy route. He's a loser, and he has to take the easy way. And that's joining the U.S. and being on the U.S. team. That's what it is, honestly. So I can totally get what Frederic's saying here. And, in some ways, look, the middle ground would have been maybe playing for France because, first of all, it's the host country for the Olympics. Second of all, they did do what he said. They rolled out the red carpet for him to become a French citizen because of his basketball, and he jilted them. He jerked them around. He says, I don't trust him. I don't trust what Joel says. I don't trust him, is what Frederic is saying here. So let's keep going on here. Yeah. He also says, we must put in context one thing. Joel is an extraordinary basketball player. He was the MVP of the NBA last year. Yeah, not really. He shouldn't have been. And that's why France decided to give him the passport last summer, because of the sporting level, we would have amazing gains. For me, we are living in an era of sports business, and now we are choosing the national team pretty much the way we are choosing our club, which gives me the better offer. Who is giving me the best chance to win? I will go there, and unfortunately, that's accepted pretty much everywhere. So his criticisms are basically like, if you're a multinational player in the world, like a Paolo and Banchero or a Joel Embiid, kind of choosing your club like you choose your football club or your basketball club in your private life with the business side of things. Well, it's more like that with international competition at this point. And it's kind of a crazy thing. I mean, I'm all for freedom. I'm all for freedom and people having the choice to do what they want to do. It's just that in some ways, where does this stop or where does it get to in the future? Ooh, there's a woodpecker out there pecking the wood. Where does this get to where this just turns into some sort of weird free agency like the NBA at some point? Like, really, seriously. I mean, we do have some players that are coming in and playing at FIBA World Cup, like Rondé Hollis-Jefferson for Jordan, and they're just kind of like in there as one hired gun. And they did this to try and even the field a little bit better. And I mean, in some ways, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. In some ways, it's like Joel Embiid is like the Rondé Hollis-Jefferson of Jordan for like the US. And it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to me in some ways. I think that this is just a weird situation in some ways. All right, let's keep going. I want, because he has a lot of comments. I want to get them all. He also said, just remember what happened in 2021, said Weis, talking about the final in Tokyo between France and USA, which ended with the final score being 87-82. We were in the final game against the USA, and the final margin was close. France was always in the top echelon of contenders. That's true. And especially with guys like, the Sarr brothers and Wembanyama coming up. Yeah, France is a power. They've got a lot of tall, young players that are very good. He said, I would take away from him the French nationality and would ban him from entering France. You will not play in the Olympics. You will come to the airport with Team USA, and we will say, you don't have the right to enter the territory. Go to your home. You're Cameroonian. You are American. You are not French. Go away. That's crazy. Wow, that's big time talk. That would be so amazing and weird if they did that. Like, seriously, if France, the country of France, renounced his French citizenship and banned him from the country, and he wouldn't be able to come to the Olympics and play for Team USA, that'd be so weird. What a soap opera that would be. That would be the craziest thing in some ways. I mean, think about what he's saying here. He's saying that, all right, we gave you French citizenship last summer, and you've turned around in that just a year's time and said, yeah, I want to be on USA instead. You show up with Team USA at Charles de Gaulle, and we're going to say, yeah, you're not coming into the country. You're not, because you're banned from this country. Yeah, that would be insane. That would be such a crazy thing. I don't know. I like Weiss's attitude in some ways, but in some ways also I'm kind of like, yeah, you're crazy. You're the Dunka Doom victim, and like, shut up. Who are you? Why are you saying things like this? I mean, but I get behind some of the stuff he's saying. Where's the line drawn as far as like players treating countries like clubs and jumping from team to team over the years? You know, where is that? Is it just that it all sieves to the USA? That like if you're good enough in your home country and you get so good, you go and become a dual citizen, and then you just start playing for the states. You know, that's a weird kind of way that like the US doesn't need more help with power on their team and talent. It's a weird kind of way to distill some of the best talent in the world, like Embiid, to Team USA because, oh, you became a US citizen. Now you can be on Team USA. It's just really flaky and cheesy in some ways. That's the way I feel about it. Of course, everybody's been talking about Joel's face this week. And well, I found out this morning that he has Bell's palsy right now. Bell's palsy is a very a malady that happens when you're stressed out, guys. That's really when it happens. A lot of people don't know why it happens, but I know why it happens. It's when you get really, really stressed. Some of the muscles in your face just kind of don't work for a little while. There's a very famous case of Bell's palsy on live TV with Jim Ross from Raw's War, the WWF wrestling show. He had to work for a while with Bell's palsy, where his face was kind of half drooping. Well, that's what's happening with Joel right now, guys. He's under immense pressure and stress in his situation with his body and how he's beat up and injured, and he has to play through it and play in very high stakes basketball games in the playoffs right now. And that is just a byproduct of the stress. I'm telling you, the Bell's palsy that he's having right now. So yeah, very interesting stuff going on with Joel. This is a very Embiid centric stream so far today, but hey, it's the news of the week and the news of the time. So yeah, good job, Philly, getting a 1 win in the first round at home in front of the Wells Fargo Arena. Yeah, you got another one coming up. Let's see how you do there. Now, yeah, if you knocked out Mitchell Robinson, well, Precious is going to have to play more. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. All right. Let's get in the comments, see what you guys are saying. Just want to do my Frederic Weis part, which, since that's what the stream is oriented around. Just a real quick announcement for tomorrow's show. Saturday Share the Love Club, Emmanuel quickly, guys. We're going to go ahead and quickly get to our new point guard, Emmanuel, and share the love for Emmanuel quickly tomorrow. So I hope you'll join me 9:30 a.m. as we share the love and praise the great young Christian, the great young man who's currently in Montego Bay in Jamaica on his vacation. I just want to share the love for Emmanuel and his coming to the Raptors this season and the promise of the future. Hopefully, with Emmanuel coming back and signing with us and this summer and seeing what happens. But I want to do a share the love club for Emmanuel quickly tomorrow. I hope you'll join me at 9:30 a.m. So think about the things you love about Emmanuel and let's pronounce and espouse those opinions tomorrow morning. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's get in the chat. We got Trevor J. Good morning, Raptors family on Freakout, Friday Freakout. Some blessings today. Yeah, the Friday Freakout's a little crazy because it's outside, obviously. I'm wearing my jacket again, and this is going on. Yeah. This stuff's weird. It's different. It's like a straw banana kind of combo. It's very fruity, smoking. It's weird. All right, Trevor's here, so let's do the cosmic card of the day. Classic cosmic card of the day. 100 points, Raptor Freak trivia points to whoever gets the card identified. Full name. Don't half-ass me. That's right. Where is Mr. Full Ass? Is he here today? Let's see. All right, and we also need to see if Smooth is here. He's our guy. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This one's a little tough. We'll see who knows this guy. This is a little tough. And, well, we're talking Sixers today and Joel Embiid. We've got a Sixer on the classic card today. Let's see who can get this. I want to get it in the light. Which way is the light? The light's that way. There it is. All right, there you go. Can you guys see him? Who is that? I need full name. Oh, I need to put it at the bottom of the chat so I can see the answers. No, 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 no. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? The classic card of the day. Who is that? Who is that? No guesses? You guys don't like the Sixers, I guess. This is a rap sheet. Oh, there we go. Smooth knows it. I knew Smooth would know this one. That is Johnny Dawkins. Johnny Dawkins, guard for the Sixers. He was paired with Hersey Hawkins. So it was the Hersey Hawkins, Johnny Dawkins backcourt of the Philadelphia 76ers. And guess who was the power forward for that team then? Charles Barkley. That's right. That's an old Charles Barkley guard, the point guard that played with Charles Barkley for a while. Johnny Dawkins. There you go. Good job, Smooth. Smooth's always undefeated at the classic card of the day. Let's see the back of the card there. Yeah, you guys know remember old NBA players one way or another. Dawkins fighting his way back from a serious knee injury 2 years ago has twice led the Sixers in assists. Well, that doesn't seem that impressive. He's the point guard. He should every night. Yeah, that's weird. All right, but good job, Smooth. I'm proud to see you are undefeated once again at the classic card. All right, let's get back in the chat. Trevor's saying Sixers Sixers get way, but Lakers not so lucky. Down 3. Yes, go Nuggets. I did not stay up to see the end of the Lakers Nuggets game, but once again, just like Christmas, I got up and there was a present. Yeah. I'm so happy that Nuggets aren't messing around. Sometimes it's really hard to win 3 in a row in the playoffs like they just did last night because, you get a little lackadaisical. Other teams make adjustments. They make something happen. But the Lakers are just the Lakers. They're a fraud. They've been a fraud for a few years now. And, Nuggets, they have a winning streak against the Lakers that's quite impressive right now. I think they've beat them like a dozen times in a row or something like that. So they just have your number. So, yeah, of course, I'm going to say, yeah, the Lakers are out in the first round if they're going to be playing the Nuggets. Well, that's just how it is. It doesn't matter what court you're on either. You can be at your crypt or what arena or whatever. You're still going to lose. That's how it goes. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Monique is here. Good to see the super fan. Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Joel shouldn't even be playing. When the time comes, he's a bum. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what Frederic Weis is trying to say this week. And so is the super fan Monique Lawrence. Her birthday party, June the 8th at the NBA restaurant down on Queens Quay in Toronto. If you can come down on that Saturday on June the 8th, you can celebrate super fan Monique and have a birthday time with her. It'll be fun. I'll be down there myself. And David Saborn's coming too. So, yeah, come on down if you can. It's open to everybody. If you just like the channel and you want to meet Monique, that's a great opportunity to come down to the restaurant on June the 8th. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to talk a lot about Joel today, I'm sure. Yeah. Fiercely saying good morning, fam, and happy Friday. Yes, for the blessings, and Trevor, and agreed, Monique. Embiid plays extremely dirty. Yeah, very poor sportsmanship. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he just lashes out in weird ways. Him and Draymond are the two most dangerous players in the league. They hit out in violent ways that are not natural for basketball. If you saw people like kids on the court or like any level, anybody playing like they're playing on the court, there's people fighting very soon or somebody's getting very seriously hurt. And that's why I don't endorse the way those two guys play in particular in this league. I think that Draymond Green and Joel Embiid are doing a disservice to the game of basketball because they encourage young people to play in a very dirty way because they get away with it. And some people think that, I can do this. We'll try that in some places. And you will find out, no, they ain't going to fly. Just because a league like the NBA protects their marketable assets and allows legends to grow, it doesn't mean that your legend will grow on the hard top. So you go ahead and try some of that punk ass shit, that dirty, slimy, dumbass shit that Green and Embiid do on the court in your own neighborhood. Find out where you get to. That's really how I feel about it. And I'll tell you. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Fiercely saying Nuggets versus Lakers incoming sweep. I can sure smell it. Yeah, I love it. I love that so much. Yeah, get those brooms out, Mr. Jokic. Get those brooms out, Kitchener's finest. Yeah, get it, Murray. Go get them. Put them out. These guys have all-stars. Why was Anthony Davis an all-star this year and Jamal Murray not? Why was that? I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Dana's saying, good morning, everyone. Joel and the whole Sixers organization gets my 2-finger salute today. Well, Dana, good morning to you, too. And Nick Nurse. Yeah, there. Let's go, Dana. Yeah, let's go. Fiercely saying, Lex, I believe Weiss said he'd revoke Embiid's French passport and prevent him from entering French soil. So if it was up to him, said it's a disgrace for him to play for the U.S. team. And I agree. Now, Fiercey has ties to France, and she feels the same kind of way that Frederic feels right now, that he shouldn't even be able to get off that plane when they land over there in Paris. It's just not, you can't even get off the plane, man. You might as well just fly on back to Philadelphia, buddy. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it, Fiercey. Tom's saying Mbozo would get whooped by that big angry Frenchman, Frederic. Now, let's not get crazy here, Tom. We want to ground ourselves in reality still. Even if we're very diehard positive Raptors fans, we can take the reality of the situation and know that the future's so bright. You can literally see it shining on my face that we got to wear shades because the barbecue era is coming. But there's no way that Frederic Weis would own Joel Embiid. Come on, get real here, Tom. Come on now. Now, what is this? Did you make a Frederic? You didn't make a Weis icon, did you? Ah, man. I wish you had made a Vince icon instead. Tom made, and he's with these flags behind the emoticons right now. If you're a member of this channel, you get access to Tom Duke's artwork. Like you're becoming like a Guy Harvey of emoticons, or like a Bob Ross. Do I dare say it in the friendly little tree background that I'm sitting in right now? A little bit of a Bob Ross of an emoticon artist at this point, Tom, with your French Vice this morning. Yeah, that's a temporary one for today. So get them while you can, people. Get them while you can. That's what part of the fun of being a member of the channel here. Viva la France. Bon matin. Yes. Take away his nationality and ban him from France. Wow. Fiercey loves the new emoticon. I see that. Mo's saying that SGA really brought Chet to Toronto, playing pickup with him against CEBL, talent talking trash. That's a story I heard a little bit about in the last 24 hours or so, that SGA brought up Chet to Toronto area and they had scrimmages with CEBL players. That's awesome, man. I'm so proud of the Thunder right now. They're not messing around and they're taking care of business. They really won in a major way in their last game against the Pelicans. Very, very major way. Yeah. Trevor's saying, breaking news. France just traded Joel for Doc Rivers. That's pretty funny, Trevor. I'm going to give you a dunk. Doc Rivers is always involved in something, isn't he? Yeah, he is. He's always involved in something. All right, yeah, we're going to give you the dunk, and you're at 32. Irvin Johnson. There you go. You got the Irvin Johnson right now, Trevor. You're a magic man right now. Yeah. All right, see, Fiercey saying, to be honest, I don't even foresee Embiid playing at a high level, nor remaining healthy, whether in the NBA playoffs or FIBA. I think this is exactly dead on. I think Fiercey's exactly dead on. I mean, what was I just talking about? The man literally has a stress problem right now with Bell's palsy in his face. He's so wound up and so under stress. It's crazy. In some ways, he's just right in the spotlight of everything is already pressurized. And he's got to worry about his knee. He's got to worry about this. Yeah. And he's got butthole face yelling at him too. So yeah, it's a very difficult situation for Joel. And honestly, the gauntlet, are you serious? Who thinks that he's going to make it to Paris? Seriously. I don't think Weiss will have to worry about him getting off a plane possibly, because he won't even come, because he won't medically be able to play, especially if they go deep in the playoffs. At some point, Joel is going to be hurt, and he may not even be able to play for parts of next season because of all this. So yeah, there's a lot to this. And I think Fiercey's right. I mean, I don't know, these degenerates at Bet Rivers and FanDuel are taking bets on how long Joel's knee will stand up. That's the kind of gambling that's interesting to me, not necessarily the prop betting. That's stupid shit. Yeah. I mean, none of the gambling's interesting to me, to be honest. Let's see. Fiercey's also saying, I have Cameroonian friends who are disappointed and disgusted. They would have respected him more if he played for their country or even France. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Cameroon is a country that's obviously a powerhouse in basketball. It's not a very big country, and they have 2 of the top 10 players in the NBA right now. And that's not easy to do, So I'm just saying that country, maybe it just symbolizes like the history of colonization and extracting resources from that continent and taking it and using it on the other teams, Joel Embiid. In some ways, that's what you epitomize, big man, is you epitomize the extraction of resources from a rich country and a rich continent that had all kinds of stuff come taken out of it. Seriously, you got to think about it on levels, Joel. Seriously, think about this on levels. And in some ways, the people of Cameroon deserve to have a badass national team with their players from their country, is what I'm saying here, right here. Bryce Lawson saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, Bryce Lawson. Always good to see Kentucky check in. Tomorrow, we will celebrate the Kentucky Wildcat. Emmanuel Quickly, 9:30 a.m. Share the Love Club for IQ, baby. We're going to get a little skippily, 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 skippily. That's right. That's right. Speaking of skippily, let's go look at the Instagram stories real quick. We got Miles Burns first. He's got his buddy, and they're hanging out, and they're doing TikToks. So they're kind of doing posing and stuff. That's the draft pick of the 905 last year, Miles Burns. They're just goofing in a hotel room. Then we got Dennis. He's got his drink on blast, 28 Black. Y'all check it out. If it's in your market, I don't even know where it is. We got a nice picture of him with his wife. It's so good that he's off finally. In some ways, that's a blessing of not being in the playoffs right now, is that he can go and reunite with his family and be the family man that he is, Dennis Schroeder. There's a picture of Junior and Amalia, and they are playing cards. Very cool to see. Let's see what else is going on. We got he's celebrating the Wagner's with a big win last night. They really kicked the Cavs' ass last night. Holy crap. It was like a 40-point win or something like that. It was crazy. But yeah, they had a good game last night. First of many playoff wins is what Dennis is saying to Mo and Franz. Let's see. And then we got Emmanuel. As I said, he's in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Check it out. He's filming out the side of his car as he's driving. And wow, it looks like a beautiful place. It's nice blue skies, lush greenery, just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country of Jamaica. That's where our guy Emmanuel is right now. And Mr. New York City is getting a smoothie on the counter from some lady, and she's got some different vitamins to put in it, it looks like. Yeah, okay. Marquise, get your health on. And then he's celebrating somebody who declared for the draft. His name is Naquan Tomlin is who he's celebrating. It also on the Raptors admin, they're celebrating IQ and barbecue on there, talking about Barnes, Barrett, and Quickly. The barbecue era is here. And speaking of Mr. Barnes, we see him in Cancun with our guy, What About Lloyd, doing the yoga posing in the morning. Looks very zen, looks really like a good, nice place to be, and warm place, which I'm glad they're not in Toronto anymore right now, because honestly, it's cold right here right now, and it shouldn't be at this time of year. It's annoying. Let's just put it that way. And then also, it's just good to see him with Lloyd. Lloyd is a good grounding for Scott, as far as he's just a down-to-earth dude that he met playing 2K during the lockout. And he's just an all-around ordinary kind of cool dude. And Lloyd can play ball too, which is cool. So like they can go places, and Lloyd he can shoot, and he can actually dribble and stuff. So I'm sure that they're actually playing together and practicing together to a degree while they're down there. So always good to see Scotty with Lloyd. What about Lloyd? Well, he's with Scott, and that's the place I like to see. There's your Instagram stories for today. Yeah, they're in sunny islands, IQ and Barnes. Thank God. Thank God. You can see what I'm wearing right now. It's going to get warm here in a couple of days. We're just right at the end of it right here. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Logical Raptors fanatics here. Good. Salute Project Truth. Mike, always. Good to see you. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson plays for Egypt or something. It's crazy all around, but other sports too that have passport athletes. He plays for Jordan. And you know what? I thought that it's kind of cool because it does kind of give them a chance. Every team gets this. I mean, Japan has an American guy on it. There's a lot of different, like one player. It's like you get one spot or something. So if Joel is that for the U.S., okay, let him play. If he's like the one hired mercenary from another team, since all the other countries in the world are doing it, all right, I can look at it from that perspective and say, all right, you got USA, you really need Joel to help you. Okay, you can get Joel if you need help, just like Japan needs this American guy, and Jordan needs Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Okay, you go ahead. You need that help. All right, let's keep going. Cool Cat's here. Good to see Cool Cat. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. France Olympic team needs to give it up. Athletes choose who they want to play for. It happens all the time. Only Cameroon has the rights to be in an uproar over Joel. This is a very fascinating take by Cool Cat, and I like it. I like the differentiations and differences in opinion. And she's saying, France, get out of here. You shouldn't even be involved in this because he's from Cameroon. And if anybody, it's Joel's choice. Once again, Cool Cat is very for players' choice and freedom to do what they want. And I agree with her on most cases when she's like this. And in some ways, I get her opinion. So she's saying, what are you even in the middle of this, France? He's choosing USA. And if he wasn't going to choose USA, he should play for Cameroon. I like this. A diversification of opinions on this. And Cool Cat's voice is strong and heard in this. And you know what? I tend to agree with this. This is part of the reason why I'm saying, Frederic Weiss, come on, man. Aren't you supposed to be dead from a dunk? Yeah, just go away. That's what I'm kind of saying. See, I want to hear what he's saying, and like it's an interesting opinion because this subject's interesting. But also, I don't necessarily totally agree with the big French goof. I'm just saying that, let's see. Mike's saying passport athletes are a big issue in Olympics and world tournaments. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I mean, in some ways, Mike, you could agree that it can be better for competition in some ways. Some of those countries that just don't have a chance, sometimes having somebody like Rondé Hustle Jefferson show up, it helps a lot. I mean, they did do better, partly because of that. I did a Sunday special report on this very subject last summer during the FIBA World Cup because I noticed this phenomenon, and I actually outlined all the different players who kind of were the passport players and where they went to play from where they were from. Yeah, very interesting. Another very good example is Kyle Anderson of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He plays for China, and his name on China is Lee Kyer. And yeah, he played last year at the FIBA World Cup with China. Yeah, very interesting. But he's not Lee Kyer in the United States. He's Kyle Anderson. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Cool Cat saying rules allow countries shopping for athletes all the time. Competitive sports mean aggressive recruitment. At the end of the day, France, the colonizer oppressor of a lot of African countries, needs to be quiet. Boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, but couldn't we say the same thing about the U.S.? I mean, you could just take France out of that sentence and just say the United States, and it would fit everything you're saying there also. I get what Cool Cat's saying once again. The power should rely on the individual to control their destiny, obviously. And freedom is important in this world, obviously. So, I mean, I tend to go with that. And then, yeah, I love that she's calling out that country for its colonial history and it's fucked up, like what it's done throughout decades and centuries. Very messed up place. And she's exactly right. In fact, didn't read this part, but Weiss even started the quote out like by calling him Joel a boy. And I'm like, I wasn't totally comfortable with reading that part, but he did say that. And I'm just saying that's a symptom right there of a lot of this. So in some ways, I'm not going to like project his views and stuff because I agree with him. I want to denounce him on this channel also, like Cool Cat is saying. Tom Duke saying Wemby with JoJo leading France would have potential. It's a weird lineup. I would be so worried that Joel would fall on Wemby and hurt his career, even though they're teammates. I mean, we did see how Joel hurt Danny Green a couple years ago by falling on him. Cool Cat saying Lakers in danger of being swept. Oh boy, they are no match for Denver, who are in championship form and team chemistry. I love this. They're healthy. Their coach is badass. They've got the best player in the league, Joker. And they've got a badass from Kitchener named Jamal Murray that's killing it. And they've got a lot of the good role players. And man, some of the guys they lost from last year's team, there's people that have just jumped in those spots. And there's people coming up. They've done a really good job with how they run the Nuggets in the last 10 years. That is the thing that's the case in the kind of team you want to study and try and duplicate in ways for your own team. Yeah. Yeah. Because they have been, man. And Malone is so good with like his schemes and getting them to be successful on the court and effective. Really, really cool stuff. I guess with Joker, you have a lot of versatility. And if they're a high aptitude and they really have been playing together for a while, that's what I'm saying. Reps matter. And you get to know your teammates and you have really high IQ players like IQ and the barbecue and Kelly Olynyk and Grady Dick. You can get a lot of very interesting things going. And that's why we need to be very patient in some ways with Darko and what he's starting with the Raptors. Because if you want to be like the Nuggets down the road, we need to stick with Darko and we need to allow him time with barbecue and the rest because they're going to be interesting and even next year. And I don't know how well we'll compete right away, but we will be competing in the next couple years. There's just no way that it won't happen because Scotty is a guy who wants to win. And that's the thing right there. So, yeah, let's keep going. Fiercely saying, yay, IQ, my favorite point guard. Yeah, tomorrow, Share the Love Club for Emmanuel. Quickly. That's right. We're going to say hi to Emmanuel tomorrow on the Share the Love Club. I hope y'all all join me. Yeah, let's see. What else is going on here? Tom Duke saying he's a keeper for sure. Yeah, good job, Smooth, getting the card. You probably don't forget people's names. Hey, yeah, he saw him play live. So you saw Johnny Dawkins play live. That's right. Yeah, Johnny's pretty good. Most people remember Hersey Hawkins, because he played for Seattle also, and he was in that finals with Detlef and Gary Payton and Sean Kemp against the Bulls. Yeah, so people remember Hersey more often than Dawkins, but it was the Hawkins-Dawkins backcourt. Yeah. Let's see. Superfan Mo saying it looks like Russell Westbrook on the card. Do you think that looks like Russell? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe. Yeah. Who's that? He guarding him? That is Scott Skiles guarding him of the Magic. I can tell that's Scott Skiles. Let's see. Fiercely saying, preparing my "Who's Your Daddy" chance. Smooth saying, thanks for all the gifted memberships again. I just saw that. No problem, Smooth. You're a regular. You know, people are going to be gifting memberships. If you're in here, you'll probably get one. Yeah. Monique saying, check your message later on today if you can, Lex. All right, Mo, if you got some info for me, I'd love to see it, and I will check it later. Mike is saying the Cavs fans and analysts were saying the Magic were going to get swept based on experience level. The Cavs have one playoff series more of experience. Laugh out loud. New guys are coming up for the Golden Super Friends. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I felt like the way the Cavs won the first two games, I was disappointed. I really thought the Magic would do better. Well, they woke up at home, and sometimes that home court advantage is a huge thing in the playoffs. You got that home crowd cheering you on. Maybe the refs are a little bit more in your side. And well, they took the ball and ran with it. I really think the Cavs were shooting well in the first two games. Donovan Mitchell shoots well. Well, they're going to do well. When he doesn't, they're in trouble. So that's kind of what happened in that game. And then obviously the guys on the Magic side got fire, and they were shooting really well. I think they shot almost 60% for the game. So that's a big part of it. And boom, what a huge margin. And they kind of buried them early. This is the worst defeat for Cleveland in the playoffs ever that they had last night. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Fiercely saying Tom Duke is so creative. So creative. Yes, he is. He's so creative. I love it. Yeah. Fiercely's like Lex said, get in it while I can. The Frederic Weis, France. Well, we could do a different player. I just like, why do we don't have to do Vice. Tom, thank you for re-upping as a member on the channel, Purple Level member. Let's go, Lex and Mo. Canada, July 27th. Canada versus Greece. Great reminder, Tom. I love this. So, like on July 27th, it's going to be Team Canada versus Team Greece. Is that going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo against our great SGA, Kelly Olynyk, RJ Barrett? Well, we'll have to see. I'm excited for Team Canada basketball this summer. Of course, I do commentary during those games. I like to do watch-alongs and actually watch them and do the color commentary over it. So if you want to hear me do that, I will be there. Yeah. Tom, you like the Bob Ross comparison? All right. Happy little trees here and there. You know what, Tom? You're going to have to grow your hair out like Bob's hair and get it permed out real nice again. Yeah, you got to do that, man. Get back to your old hair like that and get the. Did you ever have hair like Bob Ross, Tom? I'd like to know. Mike is saying the guys are coming with the fire, and these older players are still trying to make ill-fitting super teams. The new guys are just competing harder. The new guys, this is what I would say. You got to get the right mix, a combination. Like Denver, we were talking about Denver. Denver is a mix of both. There are vets on Denver, and there are younger players like Jamal Murray on there too. And in some ways, Jokic is in the middle of it. He's like a middle age player, right? He's not a very much old player, but he's not young either anymore at this point. So it's kind of like you want to have the mix. And in some ways, guys like Siakam and Joker are in parts of their careers where they're in their prime. And that's really the area where if you're a top level player and the people around you are the right mix of veteran, older than you and younger than you, you go for championships. Diversity is always the best in every situation. And if you are going to be Oklahoma City and just have a whole youngster team, well, be prepared to feel the things that happen when you have that situation. There could be a ceiling that they hit that they just don't know with their experience level. And that's just the truth. It's going to happen to these young teams at some point. That's why I have no faith in Orlando or Cleveland going far in the playoffs. One of them is going to get past the first round, obviously. But the team that gets past it, they're not going to go past the next round. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's always good to have a diverse level of experience on your team. You got to have guys in your prime that are really in the top level. And then you got to have older guys that know what they're doing, that are steady. And then you have to have young talent on the cheap that actually is very productive and helpful in a quality way. So there's a recipe to it. There's a recipe to it. Trevor's saying Kevin Durant, LJ, Curry, Joel, they all know they're not going to win a championship. So that's why they want to go for Olympic gold, but still would not get it. We'll have to see what happens, Trevor. Once again, we'll have to see. I bet in the field. And MSJ is taking USA. So we'll have to see what happens. Fiercey saying Cameroonians are very proud of their athletes. Many are top notch, and him playing in the Olympics would definitely solidify their accomplishments. I guess he doesn't realize it's an honor for him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how self-aware Joel Embiid is on different levels. In some ways, he may not be aware of some of the things that we've said on the stream already. In some ways, he may not be that aware of some things because in some ways he may be very self-absorbed. So I don't know. I have no idea, like, if he could actually figure this out in his own way, that way. I don't know what his connections with Cameroon are at this point, like how strongly he identifies with there and all this kind of stuff. I have no idea. In some ways, I can't comment on these kind of things, but what you're saying could be very, if he did know, maybe he would take it more as an honor. David's saying, I find it truly amazing that people actually think Joel is a good at basketball. Just watch the game. He's absolutely atrocious, an abomination to the game of basketball. He's a little clumsy, but there's no denying that he is an athlete at his size. And that, I'm actually really been impressed with him in the last couple of years, how his three-point shot has developed. It's annoying. Like, I can remember early Embiid being a lot easier to handle because the three-point side of him was not as pronounced. Of course, we got kicked by that three-point shot a couple of years ago in Scotty's rookie year. That was a real weapon against us in that first-round exit against the Sixers. So, yeah, I know you want me to diss him, but I want to show that I'm balanced and say a little bit of nice things about him. That three-point shot that he developed has been nasty, and that's a big part of why he got 50 last night. So, yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. He's cumbersome or something like that. He's lumbering, but he's definitely a talent. He's definitely a talent for a guy his size. He can do a lot of interesting things. I want to be realistic here. Randolph saying, Lex and our beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang, blessings on this amazing day. I'm here for my morning dose of Raptors news and updates. Oh, no, nothing but love. Them. Love, love, love. Love to you, Randolph Phillips. Blessings to you, all the Phillips family, and all the Raptor Freaks families around the world. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to be celebrating Emmanuel, who's very, very close relationship with Jesus and God. And so, in some ways, we want to celebrate Emmanuel, a man of God, tomorrow. Hope you'll join me, Randolph Phillips, tomorrow for that. Cool Cat saying, Paulo committed to Italy Olympic ball team and then changed to play for U.S. FIBA World. Now, U.S. didn't pick him for the Olympic team, business sports. See, that's a very good distinction also. Cool Cat's always bringing in really good perspectives in all sides, and I like this. So she's saying, like, if they can burn him by not adding him on this team, and he burned at Italy, it's just business. It's just business. It's nothing personal. And I get that. I get that. In some ways, though, what happened to the Olympic credo of competition from country to country? In some ways, are we making this into a sports business, international basketball? I think that's part of the criticism of Frederic Weis, is that we're making this into much of a business in that kind of way. That in some ways, maybe the Olympics in some ways was ruined by the IOC a long time ago because of this kind of stuff, business. But in some ways, it's also like, how can we get that feel a little bit more out of it? And maybe this is not good. I don't know. It is what it is. In some ways, it's going to happen no matter what. David saying, yes, I also reported that yesterday. You reported that yesterday. Okay. Kyle Anderson plays for China. That's right. Kai yeah, it's crazy. All right, see, Mike saying other countries are complaining about Canada, like accepting passport athletes and trying to have more talent. I don't know. I feel like smaller countries are getting the bad deal in this. Yeah, I mean, well, they're not going to stack up in the end with all the talent and different stuff in the way that teams like Canada and the U.S. will. Australia is another good hotbed of good players. France, Serbia. There's a couple of places where there are a lot of good young players coming up constantly in crops. So, it's it is what it is. In some places, basketball is just not as mainstream, but they still have a basketball team. So it's teams are, I think it's a good thing for like having one. I can get behind just one because it does level the playing field just a little bit. But you're right. In some ways, you're just not going to compete with certain countries. Now, this is where the Canada was before. We didn't have enough good talent to compete like we can now, but we grew the sport in our country, and now we're seeing the benefits of reaping it now because of guys like SGA, Jamal, youngsters that are coming in, also like the Nebharts and Mathurins and stuff. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Canada, how strong we can get. I still very much advocate the Canada team should be a hybrid between the U.S. model and the other models of the Euro teams and other places, because the continuity is important that the European teams have, but we have an advantage of having a talent upgrade. So we need to have like teams that are full of NBA players, but the continuity from time to time is important. I'm telling you. And Kelly Olynyk, being an NBA player and playing for Canada consistently his whole NBA career, is a kind of role model that we need for Team Canada going in the future. Like if Zach stays on Team Canada for like the next 20 years, that will be very good, very, very good. So we need that to happen. We need that to continue to happen. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, yes, Lloyd and Scotty are a great friendship duo. Lloyd travels the whole globe, also very artistic. Great person to be around, Scotty, to broaden his global lens. That's right. Lloyd's always everywhere. And we would always joke with him that he was a millionaire back on the Twitch days. Yeah, Lloyd's awesome. Yeah, well, I miss those old Twitch days of all of us. Tom, Dude, Cool Cat, Fiercey. Yeah, we were all in there with him and hanging out with Lloyd. Lloyd was just one of the personalities. It's great to see that Scott's brought him into his real life more and more in the last year. It was very much a virtual online friendship, and for the beginning, the few years of it, Lloyd told me himself, I've never actually met Scott. And, but at some point he did meet him. They hit it off, and now they've been hanging around a lot. Lloyd was in Toronto recently. Near the end of the season for a bit of time while Scotty was hurt, hanging out with him. So that's a good thing. I think Lloyd's a good influence. Talking to Lloyd, just me and him hanging out on his stream, he's just a good dude. He's a very loyal guy, I can tell too. And that's probably why Scotty values him so much, which is good. Let's see. G saying Embiid is very dirty. Then when he gets injured, his fans blame other players. Joker plays with IQ. Embiid has talent, but plays cheap ball. Yeah, this is a good synopsis right here by G, original Raptor Freak trivia champion. Yeah, this is a good synopsis right here. I think this is pretty good generalization of describing Joel Embiid. I think that you're right. Joker's playing with an IQ, and maybe Embiid's just a little bit more brute strength with a little bit of kind of like clumsiness in it that's dangerous. David saying, YouTube, F you for censoring my comments on Joel. Why do y'all protect that little bitch? You wrote some comments in here and YouTube took them out? Or did one of our moderators? None of you sheriffs did nothing, right? Wow, that's crazy. If it was too hateful, that might have been hate speech, David. So no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Embiid needs to give leadership of the team to Speedy Maxey. Embiid physical challenges hurt the team. Use Embiid as a dominant backup or get other players to compensate availability. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about putting all your chickens in one basket or all your eggs in one basket with Embiid is that Sixers' success is completely contingent on his availability and availability to play, and they're in trouble without him. They really are. Yeah, if I was them, I'd try and I don't know. They're hamstrung because of his salary. So in some ways, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Maxey's interesting, winning the most improved player this week. And yeah, he's a very interesting person to kind of orient the team around and maybe lessen things on Embiid. They've been trying to do that all year already. David's saying, yeah, Embiid should be coming off the bench. I agree. Seymour saying, yo, what's up, Calgary, Alberta? Holding it down in the center of the Canadian country. We the North. We got City Slicker, Sheriff Seymour Pape in the chat today. Dap from David. Joel may have talent, but he's still an abomination to the game of basketball. Yes, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to broaden all sides here. Mike saying people were talking trash about OKC's experience as well. People don't watch ball and rather listen to people talk about players they like. I think people rate names higher than we're well-fitting teams. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't care about how good, like, you have a top 3, like Phoenix. I don't care. That doesn't mean anything to me. What's your core like? Do they play well together? Do they fit as a jigsaw puzzle? Because if you have a really talented top, like this is the same thing with Kyrie and Luca. If things make sense, if the system makes sense, if you're covering a lot of bases because you have all the different kind of people to do different things to cover the bases, like Denver, that's what I'm more interested in. It's not about individual play. It's not about individuals. It's about how does that team click off each other, and what are they doing with their schemes, and do they have each other's back on defense? There's a lot of teams in this league that don't have all those things, but they have a lot of talent, and they try and coast on the talent. Well, the shit hits the fan, and you're in a high level playoff situation. Then you get tested, and the real ones come through, like the Nuggets. That's what I'm saying right here. So let's see. Fiercely saying, "Yikes, Paulo! Talk about a slap in the face." Yeah, that's just what happens. It's business, baby. It's just business. David saying, "Talk about getting what you deserve for being a turncoat." Yeah, well, he'll probably be. This is the thing. He just has to wait this one, and he'll probably be in the next cycle, and he'll be on Team USA in the next one. G saying he would have been better off playing for France with Gobert and Wemby. So much pressure would be off him. The American team lacks center size, so all the pressure is on him and AD. And Bam Adebayo, isn't he on that team also? So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Let's see what else is going on. Where am I on the chat? Okay, here we go. Wayne saying Jovic and Jokic and Murray have been together for 8 years. Their instant success took almost 10 years. Throw in Porter Jr., Gordon last year, Bruce Brown, and Jeff Green. Nuggets don't have a bench. Still good. Now they have a different kind of bench. That's the thing. They just shuffle in different guys. Now I haven't looked at them like very closely. Maybe I should right now and just see, like, they have different guys that are contributing off the bench. Of course, Christian Brune is still around as the rookie last year. And they just have more new young guys coming up. Like Watson played, he didn't do that great for them. They were very starter centric with Gordon, Porter, Jokic, and Murray getting a huge bulk of all their points. So, yeah, I can see that. They only had like 12 bench points. So maybe you're right, Wayne. Their bench is not as good this year. Mike's saying a lot of people pick the Suns based on names, but the logic is the Wolves defense will reduce the Suns offense to the point where the Wolves offense against the Suns defense produces more. That totally makes sense. And yeah, I could have predicted that before the series. Gobert and the defense of the Timberwolves will be able to stop the Suns to some degree, but can they stop Anthony Edwards and their attack going the other way? That's what I'm saying, Mike. In some ways, like, don't get like all star-crossed by like the big talented big three. I mean, Durant's big threes have been failures everywhere he's gone, wherever he's been recently. So yeah, Nuggy then Ruggy. Remember me? Maybe Nuggy. Give me some more clues, and maybe we can figure this Scooby-Doo mystery out. Nuggy the Ruggy. Nuggy the Ruggy. Nuggy the Ruggy. All right, let's see. Mike saying without defense, you can't hold leads. So need to at least decent defense to produce leads and keep them. Defense wins championships for that reason. Now, one of the things that's going on right now with the playoffs is they're lower scoring defensive battles, and they're entertaining. So some people are saying, like Kevin Garnett, are saying that Adam Silver's wrong. This offensive stuff with no physicality, low scoring games, he's wrong. This is exciting. The playoffs are exciting with these kind of grinded out games, and that they're wrong with the model during the regular season of just free flow, like over exaggerated scoring. That's what we want, a balance between the two. That's an entertaining product. So, yeah, they're still going to need to tinker with this. In some ways, playoff basketball is way more exciting. And in some ways, it's not the offensive craziness of the regular season. And that's what some people are coming to realize right now, because they really are enjoying the playoffs right now. But wait, this isn't like this run up and down the court stuff we saw all season, is it? No, it's different. And in some ways, that's the old basketball that all old heads like me like, is the playoff basketball. That's right. Yeah. Let's see. David saying Nuggy the Ruggy. That's a cute name. Haha. I like that. Yeah. I'm trying to remember who it is. I'll just see. All right. We're going to keep going. Cool Cat saying athletes train for a lot of years. It's expensive. So as an entrepreneur, you should sign a contract that's beneficial to you. I sound very cold, but capitalism is at the forefront. Ha ha ha. I want to imagine that Cool Cat did a little bit of an evil laugh after that one. Yeah, no, I totally get what she's saying. She's the reality of the situation. It is capitalism. And exactly, she's right. They're a commodity for themselves. They're a product for themselves, and they have to take care of it. And they put a lot of investment in it, in time and energy, and taking care of themselves over a long time. They may pay for trainers, they pay for facilities on their own, and in some ways, they want to see that investment paid off. And she's exactly right. That is exactly what is the whole thing driving it right there. Right there, what she said. Nuggy saying, I still watch Twitch. Twitch is all right. Twitch is cool. I'll go in and watch some Twitch these days. I'll watch, I was just recently made the moderator of Chris Boucher's Twitch channel, which is fun. That's kind of cool. And of course, Scotty popped in for one night on Saturday, but we haven't seen him since. And then Dennis has been streaming quite a bit recently. And I've also been hanging out with Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross is on, since he retired, he's on Twitch like maybe twice a week sometimes. And sometimes I watch Sabu, the homicidal maniac from ECW. Yeah, because Sabu's on Twitch sometimes too. Those are the people I watch on Twitch. Davis saying, I just missed the days of the NBA where the players played because they loved basketball and wanted to play ball. Is very different now, and the product on the court shows that. I could say that you're right, but also I could say that there's certain players that do play for the right reasons. It's just that you want to get as many of those guys as you can. There's a lot of knuckleheads that aren't playing for the right reasons. You're exactly right. But there are still old school kind of guys that are playing for the right reason. I can name one like Anthony Edwards. He's one of those kind of guys. I would say RJ is one of those kind of guys. RJ Barrett. Think about the way he plays and why he plays. And think about, that's fitting that category that you're talking about. But it's just that it's not as common across the whole league with all the players. There are still real ones. And there are still ones that play for the sacredness of the hoop game and not for dumb reasons like some guys are these days. So, yeah, I would say RJ is a good example of what I'm talking about. Mike saying, David Facts, the money is taking over the NBA. Yeah, in some ways, how many of these guys are playing? Another guy is DeMar DeRozan. He plays for the right reasons. Think about it. He's worked so hard, and he's gotten paid so much. He doesn't have to work as hard, but he still does what he does. And I'm going to say this right now. DeMar DeRozan got robbed in the clutch player award. Steph Curry did not deserve that award. The Warriors were garbage this year. And some people will say that the Bulls were too, but the Bulls were nothing without DeMar. In fact, everything they did good this year was because of his clutchness. So they really dropped the ball on that one. They should have gave more shine to DeMar DeRozan and gave him that Clutch Player of the Year award that they recently gave in the last 2 days. Yeah, Steph shouldn't have got it. The Warriors were hot garbage. And in some ways, that's just showing them giving something to Steph and this. What did he do? I think even the stats in clutch showed that DeMar was the most clutch player in the league, and he absolutely deserved that award over Steph Curry. It's not that I'm not saying Steph Curry's not a great, amazing, generational player who changed the game. I'm just saying that award was apropos to give to DeMar DeRozan is what I'm saying. Yeah. Let's see. Mike's saying, David Facts, the money is taken over the NBA. Yeah. David's saying, yeah, it blows dead bears. The game is dying. Yeah. There was a dead rabbit in the yard yesterday. I was like trying to do the autopsy, figuring out what ate it. I think it might have been dropped by a hawk or like some sort of big, large bird of prey, and that it just dropped the parts that it didn't want to eat from the sky. I don't actually think that the animal got it on the ground. I don't know. There's going to be weird stuff like that I have to come across on the property out here sometimes. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Fiercely saying, agreed, Trevor. Curry made a subtle joke when they congratulated him on TV for his clutch award. He said he has nothing to do now, so he'll take notes on current playoffs to get back to that level. Yeah, I wish they'd given that to DeMar. DeMar needs more accolades and more recognition in some ways. I want him to get more recognition around the league. Full Ass is here. Let's see what the Full Ass is saying today. Embiid should have been ejected for grabbing Mitchell's feet while he was trying to grab a rebound. That shit is dangerous. I don't know why the fuck the NBA is protecting his stupid ass. Once again, it always comes back to this. For some reason, Joel Embiid is big money. And, in some ways, throwing him out of the game may be justifiable. They're saying, Zach Zarba's saying, we looked at it, and we unanimously, as the officiating crew, decided that it was just a flagrant one. But honestly, I haven't seen the play myself, but if it could have been a flagrant 2 and probably should have been a flagrant 2, they didn't throw him out because you know why. TV ratings, keeping him in the game, allowing Philadelphia to have a chance to still win the game by the end of the game because they don't want a sweep. So, there's a lot of, you can look deeper on levels on why that would be a flagrant 1 instead of a flagrant 2. It's because Zach Zarba knows Adam Silver don't want him to throw Joel Embiid out of the game in the first quarter, because that's a really, really bad thing. But I agree. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, Kareem. I'm not going to disagree with you in any kind of way. David saying, regarding him being injury prone, that's very true. However, aren't you amazed that AD played 76 games this regular season? Wow, I was terrified having him on my fantasy team. So David knows because he enjoyed the benefits of his health this year. Yeah, I mean, this has been a good year for a lot of guys who've been injury prone in the past. I wonder if it has anything to do with this rule this past season, where if you don't play 65, you don't get consideration for playing. I bet you that does have something to do with Kawhi Leonard and Anthony Davis's surprisingly great health this season. I don't know. Maybe that was a good benefit for that. G saying AD did exceed at game expectations this year for sure, and doesn't look so glass-like. That's part of the thing, man. You got to get out there and work and to get stronger, and then boom, maybe you are like your teammate LeBron, and you barely ever miss games. David's saying, yeah, he did something right this past offseason. Well, he probably saw that rule, and he's like, I'm going to work harder on trying to stay in the game and not be thrown out. Mike's saying the Nuggets have a couple of guys they are looking to develop to help with salary cap stuff to be able to support their main core enough to keep winning. Yeah, they have to have new crops of young guys coming up on cheap that can contribute and do good things for them off the bench. And that's the key right there. You keep your 5 starters, that the main core, the guys you can really count on, and you just kind of have supporting players come in and out. It's kind of like an 80s sitcom. Fiercely saying Nuggy the Ruggy. Okay, welcome back to the stream. Yeah, welcome Nuggy the Ruggy from Twitch. I'm trying to remember who Nuggy the Ruggy is. David's saying Peyton Watson. That kid is going to be a great player. Peyton Watson. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah, from the bench for the Nuggets. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, I love how Joker has embraced the Gru character and making love his sense of humor. Yeah, he was wearing the Gru like black with the scarf, and then everybody was kind of making memes with the Lakers as the minions. Yeah, I saw that stuff. That was pretty good stuff. That's pretty creative. He does look like that Gru guy. It's pretty cool. In some ways, like little kids will probably get more into the game. There you go, Adam Silver. Who said that Nikola Jokic isn't marketable? Just make him into a Gru from Despicable Me. There's all kinds of crossover with children and getting them involved. And then your Despicable plan to get everybody hooked on gambling, you can get them younger because you used minions and Joker to lure them in. Oh, it's the real Gru. Come and watch, kids. And while you're at it, parlay on the jump ball. What is this world we're living in now? Yeah, Fiercely saying DeRozan is a real one. No basketball. I think he'd be depressed. It's therapeutic and save your life. Sorry to sound intense, fam, but mental health matters a lot to me. My escape is music. Yeah, this is becoming more and more mainstream to talk about, and it should be, because everybody suffers from mental health issues all the time in different degrees. Anybody who says, "Oh, I'm perfectly fine," they probably have fucked up shit that they have deep down inside that they just don't talk about. Everybody's got trauma and different things that they've experienced in their life that, they have to deal with. And it's whether you can get in front of it and deal with it head on and go, master it and kind of get past it or whatever. If you need help, BetterHelp's out there online. There's all kinds of different resources out there. I know Canada has a new suicide prevention hotline. So there's all kinds of good resources out there. And yes, we heavily endorse mental health awareness on this channel. And also, we really applaud the work of DeMar DeRozan in making more awareness on that subject also, for sure. Yeah, your escape is music. I can do that too. That's a really good one. You just got to be careful. Sometimes I'll listen to music and, there's a music can turn you different ways. You can listen to depressing music and you can get worse that way. So make sure it's the upbeat, good stuff that gets you going. That's right. Maybe some Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, stuff like that. That's what I'm saying right there. Mike's saying it's the main guys, team swapping, trying to win, but want to be paid like a supermax and want other max players too. If they wanted to win, they would realize that their money is the biggest issue. Yeah, that's something. It's like, this is the thing. One of the big secrets of the success of the Spurs dynasty was the humility and not greediness of their main players. Those guys did not get paid max money. Tim Duncan could have probably gotten more money in his career and gone somewhere else, but he was always loyal to San Antonio. And he also took pay cuts to keep a good team around him. Sometimes that self-sacrifice is very, very, very rare in an NBA player, because obviously, you're going to have more likely to have Fred VanVleet, I want 43 million a year kind of guy, than a guy like Tim Duncan, who's absolutely maybe the best player in the league, but he doesn't want to absolutely sap the salary cap. Yeah, it takes a special breed to find that kind of player. And sometimes it's the player that's really doesn't value money as much as everybody else. And that's who Tim Duncan is. Yeah, it's very interesting. Let's see. Din Loud's here. Good to see Din Loud. Embiid is an incredible talent and is amazing seeing him play last night. However, he's also one of the dirtiest players in the league, and he's a menace to everybody, including his own teammates. Yeah, this is true. I was joking last year, Din Loud, that maybe they should have a caller, one of the assistant coaches, maybe it could be Rico Hines, yell timber whenever it looks like Joel might fall over, just like one of these big trees behind me right here. It's just for safety precaution. That way everybody can look and see where they are and see where that tall timber's fallen, because he can hurt someone if he comes down on the person in the wrong way. Just ask Danny Green. Yeah, I would totally agree with you, Din Loud. And this has happened. This is proven. He hurt Scotty on purpose, stomping on him a couple years ago. He's dirty, dirty, dirty. And in some ways, he's a horrible role model for young people to try and play like. Let's just put it that way. Same with Draymond. Fiercely saying, I would have said Curry's clutchness was good for my fantasy league, but I still sucked. So DeMar, definitely. Yeah, Steph and the Warriors just had a bad year. They really, really did. But it is really because the cycle of what they've done in the last 10 years is ending, and they just won't let go of it. That's part of the problem here. They got one more extra championship in the last couple of years, which surprised the hell out of me in some ways. Like, they just squeezed one little bit out of the toothpaste right then, and now they're done. They got nothing else. The tube is absolutely empty. And honestly, that team should be dismantled this summer. If it isn't, and they're just holding it together for nostalgia, well, I'm just going to quote you too. And then one song, you say, you glorify the past while the future dries up. And that's what's going to happen with the Warriors if they're not careful. You may need to make a switch like the Raptors did recently, because if you don't, the future might dry up for y'all in some weird ways. Monique is saying, I don't have a favorite in the playoffs, but if I did, Nuggets should win it all. But if not them, make it someone not named Philly for Nick's sake, and Celtics, etc. Keep up the great streams, Lex. Raptor Free Crew. Thank you, Monique, and thank you for the cutoff at 10:30. Monique is my moderator in charge of timing things. So if you see those little scissors, please try to refrain from commenting too much more. I do have a little bit more time because I've allowed myself 2 hours, but if I can do this in 90 minutes, I'll do that too. But yeah, no more comments if you don't mind. Wayne saying, seeing the Lakers likely to be swept is beautiful. AD is akin to Embiid. I haven't seen OKC play yet, but them sending Pelicans home is very delightful. Who are your favorites now, Lex? All right, let me go look at the playoff series right now, and I'm going to say what I'm thinking right now with things. I obviously, okay. It does look like the Thunder are going to beat the Pelicans, and they'll end up playing the winner of the Clippers and the Mavericks. Now, that'll be an interesting matchup if it ends up being the Clippers and the Thunder, because that'll really be like the old versus the young. And we'll get to test Logical Raptors fanatic some of his theories and what he's saying with the Thunder versus the Clippers. That would be an amazing series. I really hope that's what happens. Now, the next part, obviously, the Nuggets are probably going to be playing the Timberwolves, and that'll be a fun series. In some ways, the Timberwolves are a new challenge for the Nuggets in a different way, and they'll have to figure out Gobert. So it'll be very interesting, fun to see that second round, and that's probably what's going to happen. On the other side, of course, the Celtics will probably prevail over the Heat, even though they won the last game. And I'm not sure who's going to win between the Cavs and the Magic. But, in some ways, the Celtics do have a pretty good route to get to the Eastern Conference Finals with the 4 teams that are in their bracket. So, in some ways, as much as I'd like to see somebody embarrass them and put them out in the first 2 rounds, I don't see it happening. But if it does, well, I will be so happy. Oh, my gosh. I'm really hoping the Pacers can keep this momentum going from their last game and winning, and get past the Bucks to face the Knicks in the second round. I want to see a Siakam Anunoby second round matchup. And then after that, I mean, the best team win to try and beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference. So that's kind of how I see it shaking up right now, and the way I'm looking at things and my favorites and stuff. So that's how I hope it goes in some ways. I really do want the Celtics to get out, but I don't see them realistically losing to either Heat or the other two teams in the other bracket, unfortunately. Yeah. All right. Let's see. David saying, Lex, let's do some manual labor and shit. We can go build gardens or something. I'm bored. You want to come out here, David? Well, it's a little crazy and busy out here right now. We've got a lot of different things happening this week in particular. But when I will tell you this, I'm not going to be ready for anybody to come out here till probably June, maybe even July, just because there's so much going on with me right now. And Adriana's actually out here this weekend right now, and we're just it's really cold out here right now. I'm not totally like doing gardening stuff too much right now. We're kind of taking trees down right now. Is kind of what we're doing. We're taking dead trees down and carving them up and putting them to the side. But yeah, I will definitely talk to you about this. And you want to do manual labor? You want to come out here and work? All right, David, you can come out here and work. Mike's saying there's a weird rule with the 65 games played. If you played like 85% of your team's games before having a season-ending injury, you're still eligible. Sengun is eligible under 65 games played this year. Does that mean Scotty is too? Because I would wonder about that. That doesn't seem right. If you played 85% of your games before having a season-ending injury, you're still eligible. So that should mean Scotty should have been eligible too. Yeah, I don't know. The caveats and stipulations of that new rule are weird. I keep hearing new ones all the time. And I like the thing about Norman, there was like some weird rule that I was like, wait, no, there was somebody else that wasn't DiVincenzo wasn't eligible for an award because of the way he played his games, even though he played over 65 games. It's something weird. I don't know. It's like a minutes threshold he didn't meet or something. I don't know. It's weird. Awesome. And Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freaks. What Raptor Freak legend hooked me up with a membership? It's probably David. I think it was David. Mike saying SGA Revenge series. Let's fucking go. So you're talking about playing against the Clippers. Yeah, that would be an interesting series. Kawhi, Paul George. Yeah, it would be very interesting. All right. And there's Cowboy with the putting everybody on blast. And David saying, my mother always told me you need to weed the garden before you plant the bulbs. Yeah, I mean, I have a very interesting philosophies on how I'm going to do things out here. So, in this season, I'm not actually planning. This is a setup season. This year, I'm going to really start planning next year, 2025. This year, there's too much I have to do to set up. So I'm giving up on trying to do mass growing. I may do little projects here and there, but I'm not doing a full scale like garden this year because there's just too much I have to do to get set up. And I'm already kind of behind for the growing season this spring. So that's something I'll jump on for next year. This year's a setup year. So yeah, I don't know how much I've been going out there. I was fighting some buckthorn. I did that some yesterday. I was cutting up some buckthorn. Yeah. Let's see. Cowboys saying, Uncle David, you're the man. Everyone have a great day. And Mike's saying you need to play like 15 or 18 minutes in a game for it to count towards the 65 games plays. Yeah, see, there's too many rules. There's too many stipulations. It's kind of stupid to me in some ways. It's too much stuff. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Yeah, we were talking about Frederic Weis and his weird, in some ways, not necessary or welcome comments about Joel Embiid, but also in some ways funny because he's saying he doesn't want him to come back into the country. He shouldn't be allowed to be in France. That's kind of funny stuff. Real quick, we got a birthday today, and it is our guy who we did the trivia on earlier this week is DeLon Wright. So happy, he's 32 today, guys. Happy 32nd birthday to DeLon Wright. Of course, we just did the Raptor Freak Classic Jurassic trivia on him on Tuesday. So if you want to know more about DeLon, go back in the archive and you can watch that. Here's real quick the referees for tonight's playoff games. In Indiana, Milwaukee at Indiana, game 2, David Guthrie is the crew chief with Ed Malloy and Carl Lane. Ed Malloy, in Phoenix, for the Minnesota Phoenix game, Tony Brothers will be crew chief with Kevin Scott and JB DeRosa. And in Dallas, the Clippers and Dallas game number 3, pivotal game, very important. James Capers Jr. is running the show with Bill Kennedy, our favorite, and Justin Van Dyne, the cop from California, Justin Van Dyne. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody watching me today. And Cowboys saying, one more think, what's the farmer app say? Oh, yeah, you want to hear that too? All right, let me go see what the All Farmers Almanac is telling me is the thing to do today, and we'll get out of here before 90 minutes. Okay, Cowboy, today is the best day to dry fruit, vegetables, or meat. So if you're drying some peppers or something, this is a good day to dry them. It's a good day to go camping. If you want to go camping, the moon is saying go camping. It's also a good day to prune to discourage growth. I'll see. So maybe I'll get in the yard and do some pruning today. And it's also a good day to straighten hair. So if you're trying to straighten your hair, it's a great day for it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. David's saying that app sucks, dude. Probably wants us to plant crops on the moon or something. No, it wants us to prune and dry and camp and straighten. That's what it wants us to do today. Yeah. Yeah. And the Cowboys laughing. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. If you like the channel, please join, subscribe, or share it with your friends. Do whatever, do it. Comment on it, whatever the YouTube people say. If you want to join as a member, you can do that also. You get access to Tom Duke's emoticon art, is the Bob Ross of it. And also, you get access to our Facebook chat, which we're always talking and updating on Raptors and related news and Team Canada news all the time. You can be in the know with fans like super fan Mo and Trevor J, the commissioner of fun, always dropping knowledge on us in there. Also, in the community tab, check out my old show, the Kensington Variety VIP Club. There's 5 years ago today episode up right now. We just beaten the Orlando Magic in the first round. We're getting ready for the Philadelphia 76ers second round, where we beat Joel and them on the Kawhi shot in the 7th game. Well, you want to relive it, go to the community tab of this channel, and you can see my content that I was making at that time on Instagram in the convenience store in Kensington Market. It's a silly show, but it's fun. And you can hear me talking about the series in Philadelphia coming up 5 years ago today, to the date. So relive our championship run 5 years ago through the community tab on the Raptor Freak channel. Yeah, it's hilarious. It is hilarious. It's funny. Thank you, David, for all the fist bumps. And later, Cowboy. Good to see you guys. And yeah, I love the VIP box. Yeah, you can come and haggle me for some expired goods on there. In Free Can Friday, you could get yourself a free Arizona tea just answering some trivia questions. That's what the show's weird, man. But either way, all right, y'all. I appreciate everybody. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Saturday, Share the Love Club. Emmanuel quickly. So if you like Emmanuel, come show up tomorrow. We're going to espouse blessings and positive things and things that we love about the young man named Emmanuel quickly. All right, let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors.